nice keys on the beat.
Yo. Are we live?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. We're in here. STAKK Nation, Crypto Warriors.
Champion.
Happy Monday.
Oh yeah.
Hope everyone is feeling, as always, like how did you feel on Monday? Great. That kind of stuff. Um, Man, this is an interesting one, man. Let's jump right into it here. We already see we have a few people with us on the live stream. Right, what's up to everyone? Good morning, good morning. Drop a chat down in the chats and let us know if you can hear us fine.
By the way, let me know how you guys feel about my app.
Oh yeah, you did. Look at that, man. Join the hard crew, man. Welcome to the Teams app. Put it there. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about, man. Someone once told me, man, all great leaders wear a hat. So think about it. Mumbutu, what's the one from damn Nelson Mandela. Okay, all those guys, they used to wear hats. Incredible. Well, let's get rolling with this thing. 901 here, man. Here's what is happening. We went for something that is trending today, right? BlackRock and its CEO, Larry Fink, have been trending on Twitter lately over some interesting footage, right? Of him essentially stating that you have to force behavior on people. Now, we're going to play this video here and we'll talk about it, double up. We'd like to get everyone's take on this as well, right? So let me whip up this. Oh man, maybe I should have shared my. No, actually, I'm good. We're good. So let's play this here, and I found this extremely interesting because at this point in time, right, like we've said multiple times on the show, these people are no longer hiding their game plan. They're
It's
just letting,
execution time now.
yeah,
Right?
they're just letting everyone know what time it is. You know what I mean? And just like, hey, you guys are gonna get wrecked. Brace yourselves. Hang on, let me roll back here. Sorry about this. Having some light issues with the screen share. Go ahead, Double O, while I
Yeah. They figure
sort this out.
all the pawns are in place.
Right.
So it's time to start executing. COVID might have been a successful trial, actually, as a matter of fact, and it's saw how successful that implementation was.
Right.
So now that that has happened, they said, okay, well, how about we'll now attack it through the financial aspect?
Mm.
So we've been seeing that attack heavily in the financial aspect. I'm sure you've seen the major crash of the stock market. That was not for no reason.
Oh,
They
yeah.
literally came out and told you that that was what they were going to do. Like they want you out of your jobs.
Yeah.
They're gonna crash the stock market. They all made up inflation.
Yeah. Destruction of work.
Yep.
Is that what they called it?
Yep.
Employment destruction? Something along those lines, man. Absolutely
Exactly.
ridiculous. I do not see how we can take this system seriously when we already know that it's
Fully manipulated.
yeah, it's a
by the
rigged,
few.
manipulated
Yep.
game, essentially.
Yep.
Right? Let's hear what this old quack has to say.
Old quack.
No, we'll keep it pushing here. All right, here we go.
It's just, you have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team.
Notice what's in the background?
What is that?
The New York
Oh,
Times.
New York Times.
Of all, you remember what New York Times did with the Bitcoin manipulation with the falsified imagery,
Yeah.
talking about ESG and Bitcoin.
Uh,
Like you have to always look at the source of your information.
bro, I don't. This is when I. This is what I. Legacy media is irrelevant at this point.
Hmm.
Is what I say. That's just where it's at.
But they're pushing,
Yeah.
they're still pushing, they're fighting back.
Exactly.
You're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said.
How do you force change, though? I mean, Larry, BlackRock has really been in the forefront of the ESG movement within corporate governance and a real leader. And yet change is so slow. So what is, and Ken as well, how do you force change when it is so incremental and so gradual? How do you do something more radical? Have you thought about that? Has the board of American Express thought about more radical things we could do to enhance diversity and inclusion?
Because it has to be imbued in the culture of a firm. It has to be talked about. It has to be shown. Behaviors across the entire firm in every region have to be similar. And every
Yeah,
citizen of the
it's
firm has
uncomfortable.
It's extremely uncomfortable.
Like
to
really,
understand
Yeah.
what is acceptable behaviors
He's scratching his foot.
and what are unacceptable behaviors.
are you serious?
Yeah. That is how intense this is.
Like
That's
this will
how
be sure
insane.
this will impact you. So
Yeah.
like the top 1% or the top 0.1% want to force change in you.
Absolutely. It's not even a, and we see it now coming through with things like Target and all the beer stuff that is going on, right? So
No, they literally just said that. Did you guys just
Yeah.
watch that?
no, that's what I'm saying. You have to force the change to the people essentially. But
That is no longer a democracy. That is like
It's not.
authoritarianism.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
And BlackRock is doing that.
Yeah,
They're doing that through ESG. The guy just mentioned it. Oh, it's so slow, but you're forcing ESG on people. Why ESG is a fallacy the entire time. We all know that.
it is a fallacy. The agendas which they're even pushing is also a fallacy, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. But I think what we need to acknowledge here for sure, or at least if it's not clear to anyone at this point in time, it is very clear that society as a whole, right, is our communities are under attack, essentially, by these same firms that we trust to invest our money. What they're doing here is not even investment. Children is the worst one, right? We have children are also under attack by these organizations. We know that it's BlackRock now that is pushing this whole thing down for all these companies to do all these asinine things that they're doing. I just never imagined this situation where the customer, their communities, and their kids will come under this sort of attack from people who are just supposed to be investing their money.
Yeah, because the population is one of their agendas.
Yeah.
So if you convince the child that it's not male or female, and you reduce the amount of the amount of rebirths,
Yeah.
then you achieve that agenda. That was why the guy asked the question: is it okay if it's slow? How long does it take for you to implement your change?
Again, this is supposed to be an investment firm, not a social engineering firm, right?
Did you
They should
know?
be talking about money.
I know.
Go ahead. What did we know?
No, do you know that right now the government, US government, have signed into policy that once you start working, you're automatically vested into a 401k.
Yeah, into
A majority of your 401k goes to BlackRock.
goes to BlackRock. That is something that people need to boycott because that's a negative. Absolutely. Now we're at the front of that line. Now, here's the thing. We've seen this because of this sort of behaviors. When they're talking about pushing behaviors on people, we have seen it all play out in our own lives, right?
COVID.
Social attacks, cancel culture,
Mhm.
just dismantling people's lifestyle simply because of their preferences,
Mhm.
things like that, right? And the cancel culture has just run so rampant, right? And society is just so fragmented at this point in time. And they say they're doing all of this in the name of diversity and ESG.
Diversity and inclusion.
It is right. Diversity, inclusion, ESG, but we're clearly driving in the wrong direction.
It's almost like IMF and World Bank saying that
Exactly,
they're
exactly,
killing
right?
poverty.
Exactly. So we're more separated than ever. So it is clear proof of that concept of divide and conquer. If I've ever seen it. right? The CEO of what do they call it? Is it Anheuser or something like that?
Yeah.
One of those beers. He was on Jesse Waters' show. I don't really watch Jesse Waters much, but he was on Jesse Waters' show, and he had a few words with Jesse Waters, especially just explaining how this whole shebang of ESG works.
This morning,
Right?
I mean, here's how it works.
Let's
It's pretty
add this
simple.
on
You just
here.
have to follow the money. If you take a look at BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, they manage $20 trillion worth of capital. But it's not their own money. This is the money of everyday citizens, firefighters, police officers, doctors who generally have their money either via 401ks or, in a lot of cases, large pension funds. Large pension funds like the state of California, which manages the largest pension fund in the US, and the state of New York, and then European pension funds as well. And a lot of the politicians in those states, in California, for example, they recently have mandated those large pension funds that they divest from things like fossil fuels and oil and gas. And then when Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York, was there, did the same thing. But they also tell BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, if they're going to manage their money, they have to commit to things like ESG, diversity, equity, inclusion, and adopt firm-wide commitments that they therefore then force onto all the major companies in corporate America.
So the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, says to a BlackRock, we're not going to send you our $100 billion state pension if you're going to invest in ExxonMobil. We're only going to send it to you guys if you guys are going to invest it in woke companies. And then that's what these places do. They invest it in these woke companies. They make them woker. And then everybody gets paid. You left Anheuser-Busch because of some of these shenanigans.
Well, I think that should be good enough there. What are your thoughts on that?
Andrew Tate got cancelled because he was speaking too much truth.
This is Andrew Tate. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kanye West, I know there was some level of truth to what he was saying. The guy will not stop talking trash.
Yeah, they were not having any of that, man.
He got cancelled.
They're like out of here with that madness, sir.
So the cancellation, it's normal. Just like they've made it normal. Not that it's supposed to be normal, but they have made it normal. So when you walk into Target and you see all those rainbows, it's targeted, it's intentional. That is what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, your money is used against you right now. The government requires that you all are vested into a 401k, which the guy just confirmed. Right, we're not just saying it, and now that money is being vested. Even your government has been bought out by BlackRock. Exactly. Now you're required to invest in their agenda, without you even accepting to do that. Your pension plan, your retirement funds, all of those funds are pushed into Vanguard and BlackRock that perpetrates the damage to our society.
Exactly. Well, let's pause here for a bit and take a look at some comments because some very interesting stuff going on here. Bigger crypto in the house, man. What's up, champion?
Always.
You know what I mean?
Boom.
Man, always. All the time.
Did you see my t-shirt this weekend?
Lands like a champion. Oh, yeah, I saw the picture I posted on Twitter. That was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. Green, yeah. So Crypto Society says, been a while, but I'm here. Yeah, brother, where have you been, man? What you been up to?
I know.
Looks like you've been
busy hustling, man.
Yeah, hustling.
For
Exporting
that
your
molar.
bitcoins. He's probably building a off-grid location or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nice to see you again, brother. Glad to have you with us. Bigger Crypto says, look at the body language. I think he's talking about Russ in that interview.
Oh, that was itching his leg.
Yeah, his whole body language was off. You could tell the fear was in his eyes. He was
what
like,
are you guys talking about right now? Like,
yeah,
really?
like,
Like, you guys want to be saying this out here in public? Like, please stop right now. You're making me look bad. You got me involved in this BS.
Yeah, he knew there was going to be hate coming for him. Look, man, body language is very powerful. You can tell what is happening before it really comes at you. So I totally recommend everybody look into that. Had to come in and hit the like button on both channels. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, champion. You know what I mean? The lines are blurred, way beyond blurred, man. I think this is now, it was blurry, but I think now we've crossed over to a point where it is clear what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And now the question now becomes, what are we going to do about it?
Yep, which is why we're here.
That's just where we are.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Now, just two more comments before keeping moving here.
Okay.
Using the force is the American way. Oh yes, it is, and we'll talk about how they're using that here a little bit as we carry on.
That's a whole interesting video we could do about that, because I was over at a friend's birthday party this weekend,
Mhm.
and the argument was, would you rather have China as the world power or America? I'm like, nobody needs to be the number one global power.
Yeah, nobody
All
needs
of
to
them
be.
has their faults,
Mm.
but does China use force versus American force?
Yeah, they do. They use force. Everybody uses force.
Everybody uses
So it's
force.
just what it is. They use it on their people more
Yeah,
so than
more
than
than
on
the global
outside.
population.
Yeah, and I think America is, if you go around the world and you see the activity. I mean, again, I would just say this, man. America's GDP mostly consists of weapons. This means you need to sell weapons. I don't know how else to put that. Like, I don't think peace is your friend if your main GDP item is weapons. I don't, it just says you want chaos all the time,
Eh,
right?
That's how you keep number one.
Exactly. Well, look, we constantly speak of Bitcoin resistance or the censorship resistance of Bitcoin
Mhm.
on the show, right? We also point out various social engineering attacks, like Double O was pointing out earlier. The whole situation with the New York Times doctoring images to make it look like
Mhm.
Bitcoin was literally damaging the environment. Like,
Mhm.
it's ridiculous. This is one of those moments where I think that we all need to just pause and really just calibrate, think, and acknowledge what is happening here. Because until we can acknowledge what is really happening here, right, we cannot really take action. It seems to me like our generation is sort of petrified,
Petrified,
right?
too comfortable.
Polarized, yeah, manipulated heavily. I don't know the whole comfortable thing, but we know that there is so much manipulation going on.
Convenience, man. That's what happens with technology. Extreme
Yeah,
convenience.
yeah,
To the point that you sell your freedom.
exactly. And I don't know if we can really blame the people, just because for the most part, these are institutions that you're supposed to trust, and this is not also a situation that you exactly have experience with. It just comes at you, and now you have to do something about it.
You trust and
Yeah,
you empower them,
yeah,
but over time, humans, just because we're humans, they
yeah,
serve their self interests.
yeah,
And over time, our governments, our big corporations
yeah.
are only serving their self interests, even though the people as are the people that put them in those
Put them in that
positions.
place of power. Yeah,
Yep,
let's say absolute power corrupts.
absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah, and we go now. BK Crypto says, "Did we see the atomic hack?" I have not seen that. I'm searching that, but we'll definitely, I would definitely want to come back to that. Atomic wallet hack loses top 35 million on chain. 35 million stolen?
$35 million.
Yeah, from the atomic hack. Wow,
I left that wallet
that's
a long
crazy.
time ago, man.
Yeah.
2 years ago now.
Yeah,
We've been out of Atomic Wallet a long time ago.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, I've mostly been Bitcoin, man, and a bit of KuCoin. He just for the Dogecoin, but that's really it, man. Mostly just Bitcoin these days. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Here are the things that I think we need to be able to acknowledge to ourselves in order to really come up with a plan. We must acknowledge that this is mass manipulation. It is clear at this point in time. They say it themselves, right? Unapologetically so. And we have to call it what it is. It is evil. That's for sure. We must also acknowledge that this is censorship driven by sinister organizations like BlackRock, Vanguard, Bank of America, as we saw there, and more. It's no longer elites, because before you talk about elites and it's like, oh well, these people were up there somewhere that we don't know. I think all the elites are out right now, and if they're all out, I think it's because there's something significant happening, like Bitcoin eliminating their way of life. I would say, right?
Like Barack Obama coming after the Apple Wallet.
Yeah, what does Barack know about Apple, man? And
Encryption and
he's not
blockchain.
someone that I need to hear anything about blockchain from, man. Like, don't you have a village to go steal from or something? Like,
Hey,
Jesus Christ, man.
like Microsoft. What's his name? Bill Gates
Yeah.
talking about ESG
Yeah.
and controlling populations.
Listen, man, these legacy people are they're no longer relevant. Like Andrew Tate was saying to BBC, you guys are not relevant. So
I have to say something though.
what's that?
We make them relevant because when you turn on your TV and they throw all this advertisement on you,
Yeah.
and then you wonder why you have a Mercedes Benz on your driveway, even though you can't afford it.
Yeah.
It worked for so long. They figure, hey, let's transition now to their actual lives.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
damage their mental
I mean, you have to look at the amount of money that these companies spend
Advertisement.
on no, just research
Yep.
on uh, emotional control or
Mm-hmm.
just emotional intelligence.
Yep.
It's just on a different level. So a lot of times people are making decisions that are not really their decisions.
Mm.
You've been influenced to choose whatever it is that but not everyone, you know. And I'm always very cautious about that because everyone always likes to think that they're super woke and not manipulated.
Check your phone.
But you don't know. But you don't know when it's happening to you.
Check your phone, man.
I'm just trying to keep an open mind, you know?
Everything we talked about is about to pop on your Twitter, on your Facebook, or
Yeah.
your YouTube.
Exactly.
And you wonder, why do you think this way?
Exactly. So here's what is really happening, man. Because I think at the end of the day, I think that the ESG situation is absolute bullshit. The gay rights situation and the gay community thing, from the perspective of how it's being pushed from mainstream media, is absolute bullshit. When it comes to like the police shooting
Mm.
in blacks in
Black versus
America,
white. Yeah.
absolute bullshit. When it comes to hunger in Africa, absolute bullshit. Here is what I think is happening. Okay. You take a cause, anyone. It could be hunger in Africa. We've seen that forever. It could be the police shooting because police shoot black people in America at other times too. It's not always when there's like election year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because somehow, some way,
Again,
it always
becomes major,
right?
major talking points.
Exactly. If you go on YouTube, okay, you can see endless videos of this type of things. But somehow, some way, during that election period, there is just one that they would pick and bring to the forefront and use it to cause absolute chaos across everything. Now, what happens is, no matter which of these areas, it seems that the actual community that is having these issues ends up becoming marginalized because their issue gets taken and is publicized on say mainstream media, but they control the narrative.
And then you vote
Right.
for them, right?
Exactly. So when they control the narrative, now they start installing and enforcing all these crazy ideas,
Yeah.
which is not really something that is being pushed by the actual, like let's say,
Communities themselves.
exactly. So let's say, for example, we could take something like uh I don't want to say affirmative action because it's a bit more complex, but think about it this way, okay? Think about it this way.
We didn't ask for that. We were doing better before
Yeah,
affirmative
no
action.
one asked for affirmative action, right? Black America was doing pretty great. We started. How do you give us affirmative action? They were going down, right?
The opposite direction.
Yeah. If you look at the gay community, I don't think most gay people are going around
Saying that we need
attacking people and just forcing everyone, trying to be in everyone's face.
I have friends that are
right?
gay and they don't extremize
Exactly.
their
But
gayness on anybody.
But the strategy here is everyone is listening to mass media, and this is what now is enforcing this policing. So it's almost like you're policing yourself because you see on TV that if you do this, you will get cancelled, and
There's
if you do
always
this, you get
there's
cancelled.
always an agenda behind it. That's what people don't realize. You know, like another
Yeah.
example would be the militarization of the police department. Police has a lot of weapons now, all because they pushed that agenda initially. Because blacks are being violent, Next thing you know, you start having police department with major military equipment.
Exactly.
That's not the role of police. You're not you're supposed to be enforcing safety, not enforcing kill zones.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
so in the end, I think the actual groups end up not getting what they were hoping
they
for.
never do.
Right.
They voted for free college education.
Yeah.
Have you gotten your college education? Have you gotten your debt wiped out?
Right.
Nope. It's just to get your vote, folks.
Exactly. 100%. Now, before we close this one out here, let's look at some comments. By the way, bigger crypto. I'm looking at this. I was looking at this atomic wallet hack situation. I see Zach XBT on Twitter. This guy is like the ultimate scam investigator. Seems like he's on that situation. So I'm probably gonna hop on Twitter later on today and look at that thread and see what happens. What happened there? He says it seems like it's an inside job on this one. So
it's always an inside job. That's just why those that Bitcoin always say, "Hey, trust no one, verify."
Absolutely.
This is why we tell you guys to get your own wallet, store your own value, store your own money. Don't put it in an atomic wallet. It's a digital wallet. It's almost like putting it in your Robinhood wallet or
Yeah.
putting it in your Coinbase wallet.
Yeah.
That was how that. If it's a hard wallet, that will never happen. Well, we have Ledger. We're
Yeah.
concerned about that one.
Clown shit. Garbage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been absolutely incredible. Let us know in the comments down below, what do you think of this whole social engineering situation going on?
Hey, they're about to social engineering it with CBDC. It's about to get worse.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
That's the other thing too. Do you think this CBDC situation will be successful? Let's talk about it on Twitter. I know we're out of time here. Double O, any final thoughts?
El Damner shows up.
Yeah,
and says,
El
"Put
Damner shows
money
up the
out."
last
Yo, you're
minute.
late. You're
What's
late
up,
to the show.
champion? What's up, brother?
You owe me one Bitcoin.
Oh, dang. The whole Bitcoin. That's crazy. Incredible. Well, Double Up. Let's wrap this one up, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, I gotta get to McDonald's.
To get for the
Yes.
to manipulate your stomach.
Listen, man, you either have some McDonald's or they're going to cancel you, man. It's ESG friendly, all that kind of stuff. You know, they have that ESG coffee over there. It's amazing,
Oh, right.
absolutely incredible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, always a good time hanging out. All right, please subscribe to our channel. Okay, it is STAKK. Share it with your friends. That's for sure. Please share it with your friends. At least post it on Twitter or something. Share a link. You know, we need some subs. We're also on Twitter, STAKKFin. Also on Facebook, STAKKFin. Instagram is garbage, and of course on Spotify, STAKK. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please drink water, stay hydrated, all that good stuff. And anything else? We're good to
What? Drink water.
go. All right. Happy Monday, y'all. Peace.